was the 6th overall state tournament trip for the Skippers to get them their first championship. They didn't lose a game, by the way, last year until January. They started out 1-0-1 with a tie playing in that same opener tournament here on Youth Hockey Hub. So it is, unfortunately, Hanchela to be helped off the ice, favoring lower leg. It is 5-on-4 hockey for Grand Rapids. Get their 5th skater out there. These two teams also, by the way, were in the same state championship back in 1990, in the same state tournament, that is. Roseau won the 1990 state championship. They beat Grand Rapids. 3rd place team that year, Minnetonka, beating White Bear Lake. So these two teams finishing on top in each of the last 2 years. And you go retro all the way back to 1990. And they were at it again, finishing 2-3. Off the draw. Grand Rapids trying to go to work here on this 2-minute advantage. And quickly the puck finds its way between the circles, then back out of the zone. That was Will Kroll. Quick to the puck to send it out. We're still in the first 3 minutes of period number 2 of a scoreless hockey game. Both teams feeling their way through here on what the second period is going to be like. Much less energy, intensity than certainly we saw from Minnetonka in that first. That's to be expected. You come out flying. They played the video, saluting the state championship, ready to go here in the home opener. Now they got to tune it back up after sitting in the dressing room during the period break. Their second penalty of the game with 1:10 remaining on the power play opportunity. Brodzinski cycles it to the far side. Del Greco at the blue line, fires it back across the ice to Peart. Peart back down to Brodzinski. Brodzinski working his way out of the corner. It's peeled off of his stick there by a teammate in Goring. Back towards Brodzinski. Tapped at by Kroll defensively from Minnetonka as we sneak down ever closer. That shot sailing wide, but Glockner moves over to glove it. And with 50 seconds remaining in this power play opportunity and 14:29 standing on the clock, it'll be another face-off coming to the stick side of Charlie Glockner, the senior. Grand Rapids doing a better job of maintaining puck possession on this penalty opportunity. Glockner sliding across the crease, and he just kept tapping the puck, and finds its way outside the post far side. With traffic all over him in front. Now it's Lidke. Will fly it out of the zone. Lidke shorthanded, 2-on-1. He sends it into the mid of Clifton. And now some words exchanged. Quickly the officials get there to wrap everybody up. And I think the Thunderhawks took exception to Lidke tapping the mid of Clafton there. 25 seconds to go on the power play opportunity. Shorthanded brings the puck back into the Minnetonka, make it the Grand Rapids zone, And Minnetonka get a chance to win this faceoff shorthanded with Mason Hendrickson. Goes up against Kobe Koenig. Koenig is number buddy there. A couple of number 7s working at it. Koenig wins the draw. Inside the final 20 seconds of the power play opportunity. It's worked down. Glockner, he's going to play it back behind the net. Bounces it around. 5 seconds to go in the power play. Ripped down into the corner. Minnetonka still staying tough. Down a skater. Now it pops free. They can pass it out of the zone to Hendrickson. Hendrickson one-on-one with Jagger. Outside of Jagger, he goes to the circle. Hendrickson left it behind for the Lagerback, flying out of the penalty box. His shot sails wide off the boards. Back for Grand Rapids. Everybody even strength in a scoreless game. Little nifty feed right along the goal line, but nobody home crashing. The feed into the goal line was nifty enough. And then a little backhand shovel for Koenig. Was on the money, but nobody home on this spot, and it just trickled into Glockner for the save. 13:24 to go. Mass changes here after the penalty killed off. Second penalty kill of the game for the Skippers in their first 2. They were 5 for 5 killing off penalties now, so now 7 of 7 on special teams, killing off penalties. One a period so far in this one. Whistle will bring us back. 13:18 to go. Third game of the season for the Skippers. The second game for the Thunderhawks. And we're waiting on something. Now we're ready to go. Big side for Glockner. One by Grand Rapids. The initial offer from Miller is deflected back by a defenseman in front. Went hard off the leg of Streeter. Playing out of this circle. Puck tucks in off the cage. Stays below the net. Then worked back. Out in front for Del Greco. Moving to this near side. He spins the puck backwards looking for Miskovich. Miskovich reverses it all the way to the far side. Outside the circle. In through traffic. A hack at the puck. Del Greco was there on the Wilson offering. Couldn't find it cleanly. Wilson calls everybody off. Wants to play it back in himself. Up to Del Greco on the near side. Work down into the zone, but only Skippers home as Doctor able to play it back to neutral ice. Little nifty pass backhanded to Newhouse. Newhouse fires it over. Comes back to this near side for Streeter, and Streeter goes top shelf for the score. Newhouse creates the chance at neutral ice, kicking it off the skate to his stick. And he finds Streeter trailing. One touch to the middle. There will be 2 assists on this. I didn't see who it was in the middle that got it right back to Streeter. And flying in, he beats Clafton on their 15th shot of the night with 12:33 to go here in the second. Streeter picks up his second goal of the season for his junior campaign. It was Jack Bayless who was in there. Gets the assist as well. So Newhouse through neutral ice from Streeter to Bayless and then right back to Streeter. And Streeter able to cap it off. Back of the net, top shelf with a 1-0 lead for Minnetonka. Puck rips around on the near side. Now we'll see what that does for the Skippers as far as the pressure and intensity we talked about. Lagerback can't play it off of his own skate as it hops backwards. And the whistle's going to bring us back. Set us up with a face-off glove side of Carter Clafton. So that's Streeter's second. He had a goal in that first game, the victory over St. Thomas Academy. And it is the penalty on Grand Rapids that brings us back here. So they're first, and a 5-on-4 opportunity for the first time for the Skippers. They've got some crisp passing rolling. Streeter pinching in, fires it straight on to Clafton, who makes the save this time. Knocks it down in front, right outside the crease. Minute 40, remaining on the penalty. Lagerback takes it away, tries to find a crashing Lidke. Can't get it to him. Lagerback tracks it down on the tip puck. Reverses, back straight away. Firing shot from Doctor, and he sails it up into the netting. Minute 26 remaining in the power play. So a first goal, now a penalty on Grand Rapids. They have killed off all 4 penalties they faced in that first game. They are 0 for 2 on the power play. This is the first opportunity for the Skippers. Minute 26 to go. Stick side for Clafton. Work down to the blue line for Doctor. Doctor just slides the puck in front for Bayless. Bayless, the captain, working to Streeter on the far side. He's bumped off the puck momentarily, and that allows for the clear down the ice for Grand Rapids. Peart's able to get the stick on it, send it all the way down with 11-12 remaining, 1:05 to go here in this power play opportunity. Worked up for Lidke. Lidke takes it into the zone, onside as Lagerback floating down, back to Streeter, looking to do it again. Streeter had that puck tapped away. A good defensive stick work by Koenig. Koenig couldn't clear, comes up to challenge Doctor, who slides it down to the goal line. 45 seconds to go on the power play. Doctor fires it off the blockers of Clafton, hacking at it for Lagerback, and Clafton able to steer it wide. Couple of second chance opportunities, and finally Grand Rapids brings it out of the zone. Bischoff looking to go shorthanded, waste some time. Lagerback hounds him. Bischoff gets it right back in front, fires it in shorthanded to tie the game. Hunter Bischoff's first goal of the game, and the sophomore first goal of the season stayed after it and got the help from, I believe, Peart, who was in there with him, to spring the puck back free with 28 left in the penalty and 10:34 to go here in the second period. Just like that, their first shorthanded goal of the season. And it's Hunter Bischoff. So knotted up at 1. There's a way to answer. Still got penalty time to kill with 28 seconds on the 5-on-4 for the Skippers. So it was the two sophomores. And credit Peart on that. If you go back and look, you'll see Bischoff gets walled off the puck, but Peart never stopped. And instead of just trying to spin it down into the corner, he had the confidence that Bischoff would hop back up and be on the spot as we go back to even strength now. Minnetonka still controlling, tied at 1 apiece. So they kill off the penalty and get a shorthanded goal out of it. And Peart, he gathered that puck and quickly fired it back to the middle of the ice, knowing that Bischoff would get up and be there. And it turns into the goal. Now the Skippers trying to answer, coming back the other way with Kittleson. Off of his stick, back to the blue line and past James Miller. The junior defenseman tracks it down, reverses to the far side for Kroll. Back to the middle for Hendrickson. Hendrickson stick handling through, dumped it off to Motzko. Motzko through some traffic, sends it back wide for Kroll. Kroll fires that one off the pads of Clifton. Clafton, makes the save in net for Grand Rapids. Another shot finds its way through to the junior keeper, and he sends that one again with the stick back below the net. In front, a walk inside for Kittleson. Kittleson loses it back to Grand Rapids. Poked off the stick for Miller. Miller tries to backhand it up the ice for Murphy. Murphy gets caught up in traffic, so the puck springs free, and Kittleson back with it. Kittleson in the middle, fires it over far side. Shot by Simpson, saved away by Clafton. Grand Rapids trying to work it ahead again. Changes for the Skippers, and so the puck is free with some space now to work. Miller floats in behind his own net as we go under 9 minutes to play here in this second period. Blocker save from Clafton. Shot from the blue line. Got dangerous here in a 1-1 tie. Skippers settle in with some possession. That shot deflected. Where'd it go? It hopped up and got caught in somebody's, looked like it got caught in somebody's breezers there, and it was Cody Miller. And he took exception to the shove as the puck was up in the air. So play blows dead, and it'll be the stick side faceoff for Clafton. Tied at 1. Goals here in the second. Streeter for the Skippers made it 1-0, and then shorthanded Hunter Bischoff for Grand Rapids. Ties us up at 1. Quick shot coming off the win of the draw from the far side. That was Wires trying to catch everybody napping. It goes wide. Wires holds it at the blue line. Nice move for him. Dumps it down towards the corner for Simpson. Simpson works it back up. He'll backhand it towards Wires, but it's intercepted there on its way around the boards by Holcomb. He brings it out of the zone. Wires will force it back in. On the near side, steps past the defender from the circle. Centering pass is missed on the stick of Simpson. As he tried to redirect to the net, it just sailed wide. Still tied at 1. Simpson working hard in behind the net. He's walled off there by a check from Flohog. Puck pops free, just orange sweaters around it. They clear it down the ice, but it's going to be an icing. Here with 7:57 to go in this second period. We're tied at 1, and a good one here between the last two Class 2A state champs. And so it was the Skippers last year sailing into year number 1 of Coach Sean Goldsworthy with a 27-2-2 state championship campaign. It was a little tougher times in the first year of Chris Marinucci's tenure back at his alma mater, the former Hobie Baker winner. I guess you're never a former Hobie Baker winner. You're always you, and you won the Hobie Baker Award. So he's just a Hobie Baker winner. But they won 7 19-1 a year ago, trying to push things back to that championship caliber. Marinucci, an assistant for head coach Trent Klatt on that championship squad. He was there, got there in 2015 as an assistant. Puck turned over off the back of a skate of Hunter Newhouse, swept back deeper into the Minnetonka zone. No trouble just yet, but Grand Rapids trying to apply some pressure. Puck does slide out of the blue line, pinned up by Doctor. Doctor, he's able to squeeze it up ahead to Newhouse. Newhouse, he turns it over on his pass, taken away by Murphy. Murphy for Grand Rapids, trying to play right there at the blue line. Miskovic was still in the zone. Nothing came of it with 7 minutes remaining here in the second of a 1-1 tie. Fly up the far side, it's Bayless trying to work things in with the front line back out there. Newhouse in behind the net, back to Bayless to Streeter. Streeter looking for another, and he's turned away by Clafton. Right shoulder save by Clafton. The puck will slide out of the zone. Murphy tries to chip it up ahead, looking for Miskovic. Instead, it's Doctor who tracks it down. Doctor back behind his own goal with a change for Grand Rapids. Pass right to the blue line for Newhouse. Newhouse streaking away. He'll shoot and score. No, they say no. It is in. We were right at first. Grand Rapids kept playing because they thought it hopped off of the crossbar, but it was tucked under the crossbar by Hunter Newhouse. It's 2-1 Skippers. The crowd reacted like a goal. The Skippers paused for a moment like a goal. Grand Rapids kept playing to clear the puck because they thought it wasn't a goal. And Carter Clafton over here by the bench as everybody is cleared out now. He can't believe it was called a goal. All 3 officials are getting together right below us. As it stands right now, it's 2-1 with 6:27 to go. To me, again, not on the goal line where the official is. I think it's going to stay. And no change. This is a goal. It's a 2-1 game. Initially, even to me, just with the hockey that I've seen, and you see pucks tuck under a crossbar and hop out, you've seen it enough times, it seemed to have that action instead of just the pure contact and bounce off of the post that you might get if it was a miss. So it's going to stand with 6:27 to go, and it's Hunter Newhouse's 3rd goal of this season. And it's another 1-goal lead for Minnetonka. And was there more after the fact? Because Glockner, is he waiting for a new mask? He's got his helmet off as he's over here by the bench. All his gloves and his sticks are still back of the net, so I don't think he's leaving this game, but he showed somebody his mask, and I think that's what they're waiting for, a new piece of equipment for Clafton, excuse me. I said Glockner. Clafton, the goaltender for the Thunderhawks. So it is 2-1 Skippers here in the second with 6:27 to go. They've scored at least 4 goals in each of their first 2 games. They also outshot both their opponents by an identical 44-12 mark. It's 23-6 right now, shots on goal. And the lone Grand Rapids goal coming shorthanded, not off of pressure, but shorthanded. So we're waiting on Clafton. They're asking for some tape. So I think they are just trying to fix something on the mask of Carter Clafton. The goal is going to stand. It'll be 2-1 Skippers. So I had a delay here with our Friday night hockey as the Skippers have just taken a 2-1 lead. There was no scoring in the first. Minnetonka outshot Grand Rapids 11-4, or 13-4, excuse me. And Clafton comes back. That was nearly a miss. That was a goal, and it's 2-1 in favor of Minnetonka. And now out shooting Grand Rapids 23-6 on the draw. Skippers control it back at their own blue line. I believe they gave that assist to Streeter. During the announcement, Clafton, mask or no, standing on his head twice there, turning away shots from the Skippers, who keep pushing at him. 24 now shots on goals. It's down in the corner. Minnetonka trying to continue this pressure. They had pressure all throughout the initial stages of period number one. Took them a little while to establish things here in the second. They popped the goal. And then on the power play, against them, the shorthanded goal. And then back again, courtesy of Hunter Newhouse. Just a sophomore with 3 goals already, now in the first 3 games. Newhouse scored his other 2 in that one game against Lakeville North. The only guy to score in both games so far, and a chance to do it in all 3, is Braden Lockamy. Scored a goal each against St. Thomas Academy and Lakeville North. 5:35 to go here in this second period. The Skippers at home opening up after a state championship a year ago. Grand Rapids has given them all they could handle here, but the Thunderhawks just have to find a way to find some more possession here. Tried a little backhanded pass that never materialized for Jet Lee Swift. Haven't seen Swift in the game too much. Looking for a feed back in the middle, working down there with Patrick Wires. Wires in the corner. Still trying to peel it away from 2 Thunderhawks as he was bumped into the boards. Still has control of the puck, just floating up ice. Hands it to Simpson. Simpson all the way down to the deck there with 2 players crashing down, and the puck does squeeze free. It's Wires on the far side. Now Simpson over to pick it up again. He can't get the puck out of this corner of the ice. More players adding to the fray, and finally the puck springs free with 4:40 to go here in the second period. Taken away. Lidke takes the shot as he somehow just ended up with the puck, knifed through the circle, and his shot sails high. Doctor skating backwards. He sends it back up ice right on the stick of Simpson. Simpson to Lidke, floating through the circle, and he knocks it just wide. Back to Lidke. Drops down off the official there. And Lidke trying to work around our official. And instead, we've got a penalty coming up. No, we don't. Apologies there. Maybe we do. It's just the wrong guy. I was watching go to the bench instead of the box. A cross check. On the Skippers. No, excuse me. Cross check on the Thunderhawks. So it was Wyatt Zulke. So it's 5-on-4 now for Minnetonka. Apologies there on my confusion. Second power play opportunity for Minnetonka. So chances are now even up. Grand Rapids has gone 0 for 2. Minnetonka 0 for 1 so far. Minute 53 to go in the power play. 4:10 to go in the period. A 2-1 Minnetonka lead. Pass to Lidke on the far side. Settles it down outside the circle. Back up front for Doctor. No rush. Now Lidke in a great pad save. Moving to the right for Clafton. He takes it away. Doctor has the rebounded puck. Back to Lagerback, and he will fire it up over the netting and out of play. Minute 33 to go in the power play opportunity. 3:50 remaining here in this period. Lagerback up against Del Greco with a key face-off here with 1.5 minutes to go in the power play. A 1 by the Skippers. Back out front for Doctor. Fires it to the far side for Lidke. He's got Streeter on the blue line with him. Now Doctor at the circle to Streeter. Streeter back to Lidke. Wanted to fire on that. The pass handcuffed him. Back to Streeter at the blue line. Back down low it goes for Bayless. Bayless back to Streeter to work it around. Lidke again in the corner. Lagerback setting up shop in front. Bayless a quick touch to Doctor. Doctor to Lidke with a minute to go in the power play. Back to Bayless. He'll shoot and score. Power play goal for Jack Bayless, his second goal of the season. And it's a 2-goal lead for the first time tonight. 3 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the second. Bayless scores for the first time on the power play for the Skippers, and for the first time .3 minutes to go. Another shot, another score. Is Lagerback this time. With 3 minutes to go. And it's becoming all Skippers as they've scored 4 goals for the third time rather, this season. Streeter, Newhouse, Bayless, and Lagerback all scoring here in the second. There's still 2 minutes and 53 seconds to go. Long shot, that one through traffic, and it just keeps pouring Skippers here in the second. A blue line goal this time for Mason Hendrickson. Check that, might have been Zitloff, excuse me. He'd have been the one at the blue line. And now a timeout's going to be taken by Grand Rapids. So 28 shots on goal and the highest scoring game of the season. Now here for the Skippers. And it is Zitzloff who scores his first goal of the season. So here in the second, it's the Skippers taking over as they scored the first goal of the game, coming 4:27 into the period. Griffin, Streeter from Bayless and Newhouse. Hunter Bischoff would score shorthanded for Grand Rapids just about 2 minutes later. And then 10.5 minutes in, what is the go-ahead goal? Then Bayless, just 3 minutes on the power play. First power play goal for the Skippers from Doctor and Lidke. And then 14 seconds later, Teddy Lagerback, he scored the assist from Mason Hendrickson. That made it 4-1. And now a defensive goal from the blue line. And Dylan Zitloff, the junior, gives the Skippers their highest goal output in a game all season. Hendrickson and Lagerback, the assist for him, and they're still pressuring, back at even strength. Only the one goal was on the power play. That was Bayless to make it 3-1. The last 2 eye-blink goals have all been even strength. What does Grand Rapids do now? They played such a good first period to avoid what just happened here over the last couple of minutes. And that was Minnetonka pressure turning into a mountain of Minnetonka goals. Now a 2-1 break the other way. Feed to the near side. It's just off Lockamy's stick. Trying to get it back and fire to the near side for Worms. Kittleson wraps it around, had Worms on the doorstep, and just couldn't find him with 1:50 to go here in the second. Puck slides into the corner and a whistle, and we've got a trip. And it's going to be on Minnetonka. Be their third penalty of the night. Minute 47 to go. Come back the other way. So, Grand Rapids, 13 seconds left in this third period. If they can't do anything with the first minute 47, they'll win the draw. It's settled down by Del Greco on the far side and then turned over. Worked out of the zone by Bayless up the near side to Streeter. Streeter with some speed, looking to get it back to the middle for Bayless. Bayless thought he was interfered with. There is a hand in the air, and he was. And so the interference is going to make that a very, very short-lived 5-on-4 opportunity. And the only thing more short-lived than that will be when it becomes 5-on-4 the other way. Minute 47 in, so just a 13-second differential on the power play, and all of that would come in the third, excuse me. If the Skippers get any of that. But we go 4-on-4 hockey with the dueling minor penalties. Grand Rapids trying to poke it ahead for Goring. He has it taken off of his stick by Doctor. Minute 20 to go in what has been a 5-goal period for the Skippers. 1 goal for Grand Rapids coming here in the second, and it's 5-1 in favor of the defending champs opening up here at home. Streeter lost an edge. He still nearly was able to get the puck home as it was deflected back towards him and off of his stick inadvertently, forcing Clapton to make a save. 4-on-4 hockey with a minute 4 to go here in the period. We'd have another 13 seconds. We'd have another another 14 seconds of 4-on-4 hockey before Minnetonka got about 13 seconds of 5-on-4 in the second. Long shot, never made its way through traffic. Another long one from the blue line. This one gloved out of the air. The offering from James Miller. 52 seconds to go. 5-1 Skippers. There was some tension. Scoreless game as long as it was. Skippers scored. Grand Rapids gets the shorthanded to tie it at 1, and you might be thinking, all right, here come the Thunderhawks. Making things tough. They certainly were making things tough on the Skippers, and then it became here they come Skippers. And the avalanche of goals that has turned into 5 here in the period. Worked back in. Lagerback comes to the near side for Kroll. He sends a puck deflecting away. Skitters back down. Long shot deflected. And a pad save for Clapton. That was Miller again. Firing from the blue line with 20 seconds to go. Worked up the near side for Jagger. Jagger walks it into the goal line. Puck goes flying. Net goes flying. We'll stop things with 18 seconds to go here in this second period. Off the draw, steered away by Glockner. Worked up the ice by Lidke. Final 10 seconds as he loses his edge right there at the blue line. We're skating 4-on-4, and we'll do it again in the third. Resetting the time for you once we get there, because it looks like we're going to go there without anybody scoring here, and we will. It'll be 4-on-4 hockey for 13 seconds when we get to the third, and then 14 seconds of a man advantage for the Skippers. They didn't necessarily need the man advantage. The go-ahead goal scored even strength. Then they got a power play goal from Bayless. All of this in this second period. Lagerback, Zitzloff, and Streeter. Streeter got the scoring started. The only goal on the other side for Hunter Bischoff here in this second period. It's the Skippers 5 and the Thunderhawks 1 as we go to the second intermission here with Friday Night Hockey on Youth Hockey Hub. headed to the third period here on Youth Hockey Hub, as the Minnetonka Skippers bound up with 5 goals, 4 of them unanswered in the second period to take a 5-1 lead into the third. J.W. Cox here with you from Pagel Arena on Youth Hockey Hub's Friday Night Hockey. And the Skippers welcoming in Grand Rapids, but it was an unwelcome final 6.5 minutes of the period. They traded goals, did the teams, inside the first 7 minutes of the period to keep us knotted at 1, and then the Avalanche began with 6:27 to go. Hunter Newhouse gave them the lead, as now a turnover to Griffin Streeter right in front. Turns into a glove save for Carter Clafton. Pauses with 16:36 to go. And we're still at 4-on-4 hockey. Now we've changed, got to reset that, as it is now 3 seconds of a power play opportunity for Minnetonka. Wrapping things up on penalties that ended the second. Apologies there for not being out front with that instead of the recap. But it's kind of an inconsequential 4-on-4 for a few seconds, and now time winding off, and back to full strength goes Grand Rapids. They'll do so defensively back in their own end. Streeter knocks it around towards Bayless. Bayless with it behind the net, working out of the corner. Bayless from the goal line, looking to hop up towards Lidke instead. Dumps it back down behind for Newhouse. Newhouse fires it to Lidke, who shoots and scores. Wow. That was some passing for the Skippers, starting with Bayless floating in, Newhouse floating along the goal line, and then a fill on the weak side for Lidke. And he picks up his 3rd point of the day on his first goal. He assisted on the 2nd and 3rd goals of this one. And Lidke, here with 16:16 to go, just continues to build on what has been the highest scoring output of the season so far for the Skippers. And it is now 6 goals. Lagerback wants a piece of it. He's after it. Him and Moscow track the puck down in the corner. It's bounced up to the near side. They give Streeter the assist. Goal with 3 minutes to go, 3:14 to go, 3 minutes to go, and 2:39 to go. So that's full span of just 35 total seconds to wind off the clock, from sitting at 2-1 to all of a sudden 5-1, where the period would end for Grand Rapids. They were just dunked underwater real quick by the Skippers. 15:40 to go. Grand Rapids now see what they've got for some fight. It's been more pressure from Minnetonka, and another goal. Motzko after it. Instead, it's Hendrickson. He gets it down along the goal line, and Lagerback decides to pass instead, and it was just wide of Motzko. Back to Lagerback at the circle. He taps it around. Grand Rapids a chance to clear, and they will, bringing it up near side off the stick of McCray Murphy. Under 16 minutes to play here in this one, a commanding 6-1 lead for the number 1 team on our Youth Hockey Hub rankings, the Minnetonka Skippers. Hendrickson brings it across. He's got Motzko down with him, who just passed it backwards to Kroll. Kroll floating in, back to Lagerback, a pad save for Clafton. Clafton dropped down right in time for Lagerback, firing that home through the slot. Grand Rapids trying to extract the puck from neutral ice. Still right down below us. Kicked around, knocked around. Miller able to push it ahead, and it ends up in the Thunderhawks' end. A walk along the goal line for Kittleson, and he nearly wrapped that one around the pads of Clafton. Instead, it comes back the other way. 14.5 to go. Back to the Minnetonka blue line and sent right back to the Grand Rapids end. Hops up, off the glass and out of the zone. Picked up, center of the ice. Bischoff, your goal scorer, dumps it over to Koenig. Koenig tries to get it back into the middle for Bischoff, and it's taken away. Kittleson flying up the ice on the near side. He loses an edge as he crosses the blue line, but right there on the spot is Worms to fire it home, but a pad save for Clafton at the blue line. Puck popped in. Kittleson with Worms. They fought for it. Both spinning right in front of the net. It pokes away in favor of Grand Rapids. Cody Miller sends it down into the corner. Touched by Glockner to slow it down. 13:55 to go in this 6-1 lead for the Minnetonka Skippers. Yeah, they're our number 1 here on Youth Hockey Hub. Obviously coming off a state championship, winning their first 2 games. Why wouldn't you have them at the number 1 spot? And to bring that up also, just illustrating what we've got for you here on Youth Hockey Hub. Not only these live streams, which you can watch on demand as well. Archived coverage. Check this one out on demand, and don't blink when you get late in that second period. But also the rankings, the stories, the podcast as Newhouse flying in. Man in the middle, shot and a score for Streeter. He's got his second of the game. 13:21 to go, and it's 7-1 for the Skippers. Streeter scored first, and now he gets goal number 7. Nifty feed from Newhouse that time. Seven to 1 Skippers. They owned the end of the second, and they're owning the beginning of the third. 13:15 to go. Just tough to be a Thunderhawk right now. Running into, obviously what we were saying, could be the top team in the state. Bayless, his pass was deflected and then right on net, forcing Clafton to make a save. He had swept that backhand towards the near side circle, went off a defensive stick, and Clafton right on the spot. And by the way, never forget, the first of the goals scored inside the final 6.5 of that second period was the one that was at issue and drew a conversation between the officials when Newhouse tucked it under the crossbar, as was determined. And about half the skaters on the ice, all the ones wearing orange, thought it came off the crossbar and out. Instead, it turned into the second goal of the night and a lead for the Skippers. And then 3 minutes later, the avalanche that still continues here began. How quickly things can turn. 12:15 to go here in this third period. It's 7-1 Skippers. Puck along the goal line. Simpson able to send it back out to the blue line. Del Greco fighting for it. They scored just 1 goal in their season opening loss. So even though a comeback here is maybe about the farthest thing from the mind of this coaching staff, they want to see some execution here against this top team. And if the Thunderhawks can find a way to pop a goal, they go offsides here. Oh, a slash, excuse me. So a chance to execute on the power play for the first time. Wire is called for the slash. They are 0 for 3 in this game on the power play. 0 for 7 on the season. And for Coach Marinucci, no doubt this is one of those microcosm situations. Yeah, the game is 7-1, and there's only 11:15 to go, but you got a power play here. Go out and execute 5-on-4. And their only special teams magic was the shorthanded goal, which is their lone goal of the game. Motzko takes it away near the blue line, but is turned right back in. That one a toe save for Glockner. Traffic in front. Charlie Glockner, the senior, still keeps it clean. Flies out of the zone on its end, banging down off the boards. We've got 1:35 to go, power play time here for the Thunderhawks with 10:45 remaining here in the period. Trying to extract it from their own zone. It's banged off the boards by Goring. Goring gets it back as he floats towards the blue line, but Lidke's there to turn him around with Hendrickson flying inside. Lidke to Hendrickson, and he lifts it too high. Short-handed chance for the Skippers. Now back the other way. Holcomb on the near side. He's banged off the puck. Lidke sweeps it around. It runs right into the stick of Koenig. Koenig, he'll dump it down towards the goal line. Lidke's there to waste some time with 59 seconds remaining. Lidke able to wrap it around, and then it clears out of the puck and hard off the stick of Clafton. He'll touch it up to Miller. Cody Miller spins to avoid a defensive challenge, and he settles down, and he's able to get it back behind for Peart. Peart has the assist on the lone goal in this game, pushes it up ahead to Brodzinski. Brodzinski at the goal line, trying to work his way down, leaves the puck back for Miskovic. Miskovic trying to work it out of the corner. Miskovic pinned up by 2 defenders, sends it back to the blue line. Now it'll drop back down outside the circle. Brodzinski walking in, sends the shot, fluttering puck that Miskovic got a piece of, and it sails wide. Under 10 to play here in this game with 18 seconds to go on the power play. It is 7-1 in favor of Minnetonka. They're trying to kill off their 4th penalty of the night. Getting awful close to doing it here with only the final 5 seconds as Grand Rapids pushes back up the ice. Lackamy bumps a man off the puck and wins it himself as they'll go back to full strength. Grand Rapids tries to dump it in. Nobody home. Minnetonka brings it out with speed for Miller. Miller weaves his way past through defenders. Miller takes the shot that's deflected wide. 9 minutes to go. He's back on the puck in below the goal line. Miller floats outside the circle, dumps it back down. He's got Kittleson there. Kittleson working from behind the boards. So recycles, gets up front. Kittleson from the slot tried to take the shot. His stick was deflected away. Puck comes out of the zone, controlled by Brodzinski for a moment. Then he flutters it off the boards, and that'll be an icing to bring us back down the other way with 8:38 and spinning. So a running clock here. Wasn't sure when that was going to kick in. It does so here at this point. If you're just joining us, 5 goals in the second for Minnetonka, 2 more here in the third. 4 of the 5 came with less than 6.5 minutes to go in that second period in what had been a 1-1 and a scoreless game for the better part of a period and a half. And then the Skippers exploded. We've got 8 minutes of running time remaining. 38-8 is the shots on goal for Minnetonka. Yeah, they're going to be a bear to deal with. They've put up 44 shots in each of their first 2 games. But, of course, never scored more than 4 goals as somehow Glockner keeps his eye on that one and Blocker steers it away to the far side. Break for Bayless. Bayless has Newhouse in the middle. Bayless finds a trailer instead as it's knocked away from Streeter. Streeter looking for blue line help. He gets it from Kiffin. Kiffin bangs it up the near side boards, looking again for Streeter. Down inside for Newhouse. They're working defensively against Wyatt Zolke. Zolke pries the puck free for Grand Rapids. Moves it to the near side. Out of the corner. Just outside the circle. Another fight for the puck. Draws a crowd. Into the corner it goes. Flohog trying to track it down for Grand Rapids. Bangs it up the boards, but there's Doctor. Doctor to Lidke. Lidke to Bayless. Bayless takes the shot, looking for that narrow angle. Clafton wasn't leaving him much room. He still tried to hit it with 7 minutes to go, and it flies up into the netting. 7-1, the lead for Minnetonka. Running time here with a 6-goal lead for the Skippers. Here at home, the video, championship video from a season ago. Skippers hit the ice under cover of darkness, fired up the fans. And we went through a scoreless first period, and we went scoreless at a half-minute mark before Griffin Streeter got the first of what is now 2. It was evened up on a short-handed goal from Hunter Bischoff and the Thunderhawks. But then it's been all Minnetonka since. And it should be noted, as we were talking about up here as it was going on in the pregame, Hawks program and the Thunderhawks team as a whole, for the fact that, yeah, last year was Minnetonka. The year before that, though, the Thunderhawks were the top of the heap in Class 2A. Credit where credit is due. But for the moment, and for 2018-2019, at least at this point, Minnetonka on top. And seems to certainly be a 2A juggernaut at this point. If nobody's ready to crown them as the team to beat, they're certainly in that status. Motzko has his pass deflect off a defensive skate. Forces the Skippers to work back with it with 5:10 remaining on a running clock. Lagerback has been a part of a lot of it today. Came away with the 4th goal of this game and had the assists on goal number 5 for a couple of impactful moments for the Arizona State commit. And a penalty now on Grand Rapids, as Goring will head to the box. They're 0 for 4. They have given up a power play goal. This will be their 4th penalty of the night. Four and a half minutes. Spinning down here quickly. In the third. Mentioned Grand Rapids staying here in the metro area. They'll play Benilde St. Margaret's. Slashing is the call. Feed and off the skate, then the stick, and Will Kroll gets creative and fires it home for goal number 8. All kinds of credit for the senior defenseman, Kroll. That one came hot, handcuffed him. He settled it down with the skate and then swept it in with the stick. That's good work for Kroll, who had 10 points a year ago. 2 goals and 8 assists, and he gets his first goal of the season. And this will be one to shoot at, certainly, for the Skippers as the season rolls on. 8 goals scored. And they now have 16 on the season. An 8-1 lead with 3.5 minutes of running time remaining. There's some impressive goals and some good passing. But Kroll, the way he was able to settle that and still find a way to shoot and score, impressive. Unfortunate for Grand Rapids that he had the space to do so at the circle. But again, the Thunderhawks, they can certainly go back to that first period where there was all kinds of pressure. Again, they haven't had anything close to a shots advantage in this game. It's been all Minnetonka. It was 13-4 out of the first, but in that first period to go scoreless against the Skippers, as they've now got 40 shots on goal. That was something that Grand Rapids certainly and their coaching staff should have been proud about in that first intermission. There was no give down in this zone for Grand Rapids in this first. They were getting sticks on passes. Eventually, though, it just became too much, and the pucks were all bouncing the way of the Skippers there in the second. Their execution continued to rise, and if you live that way and you're getting some deflections, good. And that's how they lived in the first. But if all of a sudden there's one you don't get that deflection, you're putting a whole lot on your goaltender. And unfortunately, the big second, followed by some icing here in the third. Trying some icing on the backhand for Kittleson. He wraps it around the back of the cage. Puck floats in front again. So we're inside the final 2 minutes here. From Peggle, Friday Night Hockey. Don't forget, keep it tuned. Bookmark it, youthhockeyhub.com. Not only the YouTube page you're on right now, but youthhockeyhub.com, your source for scores, rankings, not just high school boys and girls rankings. We've got both classes of that, but also your youth hockey rankings. It's in the name. Stories, podcasts, keeping you tuned in with everything that's going on here in the state of hockey and specifically on the youth hockey side of things. That puck dangerous in front. Glockner saw it all the way as he was ready. He didn't want to give up too much and reach for that, but he was confident his defense was there. Final 60 seconds coming up. Streeter, Newhouse, Bayless, Lagerback, Zitzloff, Lidke, and Kroll. 7 different scores for the 8 goals for the Skippers. 2 for Streeter. He's got 3. Will be your top scorer coming out of it, tied with Newhouse. For the first time all year, Braden Lockamy, not one of the scorers. But he's got 2, and it is a packed score sheet for the Skippers. They will turn around and they get St. Louis Park on Thursday on the road, then Saturday at home against Duluth Marshall. And they've got a tough game at Blake in a little over a week from yesterday. Check that, 2 weeks from yesterday, as their next game against St. Louis Park will be a week from yesterday. And that shot will send us to the end. So 5 in the second, 3 more in the third, and that's plenty for the number 1 Skippers as they get an 8-1 victory over the Grand Rapids Thunderhawks. Hunter Bischoff, the lone goal for the Thunderhawks as they fall to 0-2. The Skippers have 7 different scores to pick up their 8 goals as they go to 3-0. It's Benilde St. Margaret's tomorrow for the Thunderhawks, and then next Thursday at St. Louis Park for the Skippers. And don't forget, keep it always right here on Youth Hockey Hub all season long. I'm J.W. Cox. Thanks so much for joining us from Peggle one final time. Minnetonka 8, Grand Rapids 1. The defending champs are 1-0 here at home and 3-0 to start the season. Good night, everybody.